I'm the founder of the IBM Open Batch program. We developed the Open Batch program based on the Open Batch standard in the end of 2014, early 2015. We had a pilot for it. It became a huge success at IBM. We found that it increased metrics in every way from learning to actual product trial downloads. And it now has really started to create a massive sea change in the IT world on the way we're starting to think and look at credentials. In fact, this IBM developed this program and started to promote it. We've had other major vendors like Microsoft and Cisco and Project Management Institute and others that are starting to adopt that, and they've launched the batch programs in the last year. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a taste of what happened with our pilot, which was an online learning pilot. And a little bit about online learning, but if you want to go in another direction, we can do that too, Chris and team, whatever you'd like to do. So let me just stop the video, and I'll start sharing some slides and see if this works for you guys. And again, interrupt me if you see anything you want to do differently. I think I'll open up, after that. I think a little easier here.
That sounds good.
So let's see. Okay, great. So we had a problem, and the problem was with our Big Data University. Big Data University was established to help people get skills in big data and data science. And we were able to attract about 120,000 people to this online MOOC platform. It was doing pretty well, but the dropout rate was significant, as it is with any online learning. The 85% number type of thing was all over the place. People weren't staying around, they weren't engaged, they weren't completing the courses. And we thought there's got to be something that we can do to try to increase the attendance up at Big Data University. We thought that can we increase the attendance by 10% at Big Data? And can you get people to complete these courses, to complete the exams by 25%? We thought that would be a good stake in the ground, a number to look at. So we started looking at open badges. And, you are familiar, I think, with what open badges are, but the idea that we could create a digital emblem that had rich metadata inside it that would tether back to the IBM company to validate and verify and have complete transparency in it. And that it was also, easily shareable on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We thought that this would be a great marriage to our Big Data University. And we did this early on. This was in 2014, 2015, 2015 actually beginning. So we thought, let's go and do that. So we started to create badges for Big Data University. We started with knowledge badges for Big Data University, and they included, the basic ones for our tech analytics and some of our other courses. So started to create these badges, started to implement badges in, I think it was May of 2015. And then after about a month, we started to analyze the data. After about 2 months, we started seeing some dramatic results that continued through the rest of the year and actually continued to today. Again, we started with this idea, and we were able to increase the attendance by 10% and increase the completions by 25%. We found the numbers were really startling when we implemented a batch program. The student enrollments went up by 129%. And can you all see the screen?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, good, because it's giving me a message that says sharing cause for whatever reason. Okay, so 129%. And the number of people completing the courses went up by 226%. Now, in order to get the badge, you have to complete the assessment. Every one of our badges has some sort of assessment associated with it. We don't badge just for showing up. That went up by 694%. The numbers went really through the roof. They were so good that we had to really do the math multiple times and check our decimals to see if that was really the case.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Absolutely dramatic. Yeah.
So describe what the slide we should be seeing looks like.
It's a student enrollment that has numbers on it.
I think we're seeing your introduction slide.
Oh, okay, let's see if this works here. Do you see the screen right here? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cancel this thing. I'm gonna contact you that through my, okay?
Okay.
So let me just go down the front. Yeah, sorry about that. Thanks for the picture. Okay, one second. We can turn the desktop and see if you can see the screen with that on it.
There we go, that looks, yeah, I was wondering, you had a lot of detail for an introductory slide.
So, you can see some badges on the screen, you see that?
Yeah, it says Big 8 University badges. And we've got 6 badges there.
Hey, I'm the problem,
Probably
delay.
the video on our end.
Yeah, you know what, I'm
Are you
gonna,
guys able to see these badges?
Yep. Help with the balance.
I just killed the video on our side just to save a little bit on the bandwidth. But it looks good. We see those 6 badges that you're talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna be real daring here. I'm gonna go in the presentation button, see if we still
All right, everybody hang on.
So, can you see that?
Yes.
That's great, that's something we're gonna say. So those are the badges we start with. We start with knowledge at EMS, that we would ask people who completed courses in Big Data University. Again, so back to the numbers. So this is the money chart, right, that you guys maybe can see now with the student enrollment. Student enrollment went up by 129%, and like I said, at the bottom end of it, and the end of course assessments went up by 694%. We just couldn't believe the numbers that we're getting that type of engagement with the university by doing nothing more than that. And incidentally, we did about 6 or 7 different badge activities in our pilot. In this case, there was nothing else that impact or affected the university. There wasn't much executive going out there trying to people to do things. It was nothing that we cultivated it down to the badges. So again, the numbers were absolutely dramatic. We started looking at some other metrics then as well. And we started to poll people and we asked some specific questions. We found that the engagement level went way up. 87% of the people we polled said they now wanted a deeper relationship with our brand, with our business. Our certification, we did another pilot with our certifications, which is our high-stakes cloud certification. We have activities that lead up to that, high-stakes credential. And then if people completed those badge activities going up to that, we found that the certification pass rate went up by 57%. We also then linked product trials, and we always have with product trials and training, so people can download one of our products and try it out. We found that when we added badges to Big Data University, people started taking the courses, again, they're completing the courses, and then they started to increase their product trials. So now we're in the business where skill development and training can actually help offering management and marketing for IBM. And then we asked people very pointedly about employability, and 92% said that badges are a valuable way to verify skills. They felt that this is a valuable way. We talked to LinkedIn, and they told us that LinkedIn profiles with our certifications of badges on them received 6 times more profile views by putting those credentials on the LinkedIn. So again, we found some really, really phenomenal metrics from it. The impact on this has been enormous for our brand. People are sharing badges at very, very high levels. We found that we get 2.5 million social media views for every 10,000 badges we deliver. So we have now generated millions of dollars worth of marketing for a company by simply issuing badges that people are sharing out to social media. So the numbers were just enormous. Some of the numbers for badges now that we did a full year, in 2016 was a full year of production, now we're in our 2nd year. And the numbers, by the way, are continuing to climb. We have about 1,000 activities across the IBM company that are now being badged. We've issued badges now, this number is probably off, probably closer to about 500,000 people now around the globe have been issued badges by IBM. We've issued badges in 178 countries. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. I know this is a problem that you all have as well. At any given hour of any given day, somewhere in the globe, there is a learning activity being held for IBM. Whether it's a public class, whether it is an online course, whether it's something happening in one of our innovation centers or a hackathon or whatever it happens to be. And every one of those activities typically has some sort of registry of the people who completed the activity. Sometimes it's in a learning management system, and sometimes it's on a spreadsheet. Sometimes it's just in an email. We've never had a way to aggregate all that data together so we can have a full view of the student or a collective view of a geography. When we issue badges, everything flows into one central skills repository. So we can now generate heat maps to see where the skills are and where the thirsts are at a macro level by country. We can do it by our different products or our brands or different subjects. We can do it on an individual basis, and we're finding that people are not taking the prescribed learning path that we expected they would take. We'll tell them, take, Big Data 101, Big Data 102, Big Data 103 in that order. But we're finding that that's not the case. People are sometimes taking Big Data 101, but then they're going out to a hackathon, or they're taking something else online, or they're doing something different. Now we're able to look at that and say, maybe we can make better learning paths for people, and also maybe we can reduce our flight risks by introducing opportunities in between those 101 and 102 to keep people engaged so they want to get to the 102 level. So again, it's going to inform the way we develop our courses and the way we develop our learning journeys in a very, very big way. And I'll pause anytime you guys want. So just let me know if you want to interrupt. So, we started looking at the online learning, and we started looking at why online learning fails, and we started thinking, is there a way that we can add a little more intelligence to the way we're doing online learning with batches? That's for really 5 reasons, and I think this is published research and data on why online courses fail. And there are really 5 major reasons that we know affect IBM. There's that anonymity. There's no shame if you drop out of an online course, at least easy. There's no penalty or consequence for it. Obviously, in most cases, there's very little interaction. There are very few online forums that are really engaged and active. No similar achievement, that was a big one for us, and then no marketable benefit. And, it all boils down to the fact that finishing a course online is like giving yourself a pat on the back. And we know, especially in our industry, that people aren't coming up to our courses like they would to a gardening course for self-education. They're doing it for something very big. They're not doing it for dinner time conversation. Knowledge and learning are not enough for us anymore for learning. We found that there were 2 very specific benefits that we had to provide in our online learning. Otherwise, we have major dropouts. We have to find a way for people to achieve status, and we have to create a signal of employability. Those 2 things were mandatory in everywhere in the big university. And that really was the kind of a little bit of the aha moment for us. If we were able to do those 2 things, we can increase our engagement and reduce our dropouts in a very big way. So I'm gonna, do you want me to pause there, or any questions? Okay, I'll continue through. So 8 strategies that we use at IBM to make our online learning better with open badges. There were marketing benefits for the badges. When we first started the badge program, the badge adoption rates were very, very low. In fact, across the board for open badges in 2015, even into 2016, the numbers were typically people earn badges, but they wouldn't really collect those badges. They wouldn't go up to accept the badge. The number was literally around 5 or 10%. All the number of people that were accepting. In the IT industry, it was around 35%. By the way, our number is 87%. The industry average now has jumped from 35 to about 50%. We're still, outpacing that number in a very big way. But the numbers have gone, like I said, from 30% to 50% in a year, and that tells me that that is a signal that badges are starting to show no value. Otherwise, why would people take them? But the messaging, the messaging has to be extremely strong. You have to use social proof, and you have to absolutely showcase that. There has to be a big so what story for people to adopt badges from a badge or we're very compatible with that with the market driven on benefits-driven letter. And we use the Chinese, 6 triggers of, influence, or whatever it's called, on scarcity, that it's no risk, that it's easy, and then we told people why they should care, and then we gave them real benefits. So we A/B tested letters. This one is a little wrong, but we'll sort of run it better. But we wanted to make sure we always introduce those types of letters with scarcity, risk, easy, and benefits. The big so has to be in the letters, otherwise we just didn't get the adoption rate for our badges once we put that stuff in the letters. The progression, we have to reward progression, and literally, if you can do it every hour online, that's even better. What we did with Big Data University was we made it relatively easy to get on the leaderboard with a big data fundamentals course. The course, anybody listening right now, you guys could go up to bigdateuniversity.com this afternoon or tomorrow, go up there, take the Big Data Foundations course, and you can earn a badge. It would be foundational or fundamental level, but you can earn a badge. We found that that approach really worked. Get people onto the leaderboard was something that was fundamental, and then make it more difficult to progress them through. We found that if we tried to start with, a more complicated path, like saying you have to take these 3 courses before you're in a badge, it just didn't work. The mental tricks, I think this is really interesting, and there's a book that's called Switch, and we found this to be absolutely the case. Switch did a study, they showed a study while you're in Switch, where they did car wash stamps. And at a car wash, you get a card, if you come back, you can, get all your card punched, and you can get a free car wash. Well, they did a sample A/B test on that. And they said, if you give a person a card that has 8 holes in it, what is going to be the return rate for those people? They did the same thing with another card where they put 10 holes in it. So it's a much longer journey, 20% or whatever longer, the journey. But they punched the first 2 for that person. The return rate for the people with the 10, the journey for 10, was double. I think it was around 25% versus like 12%. So we found that mental trick actually works as well. Get people on the leaderboard, and then they're going to come back for more. We found that we needed to build progression right into our badges, and so we built next steps right into our badges. So we always have a progression path to tell people a recommendation that's next. And again, we're starting to inform that based on, we're actually using marketing analytics now, and we're looking at the paths, and we're finding that it's like a spaghetti map, showing how people are going from one activity to another, very different than the paths we prescribe. So the activities, the learning engagement, we also decided we were going to start to badge people who participate in forums that mentor other people, that provide leadership. So we're going to provide badges for people who are actually showing and demonstrating real leadership by answering questions, by doing things. So we absolutely want to reward active learning and engagement as well. So it's not just about taking the course, but it actually is about the participation in the online forums as well. And then beyond knowledge, wanted to see, what else should we badge beyond knowledge? So here's just a list of some of the things that we started to identify that we started to badge at IBM. We're also interested in working to capture interests in addition to knowledge and skills. So, there's this debate now whether badges should have some sort of rigor, and should it be kind of analogous to a certificate program or a certification. Our viewpoint on that is probably not. How are we going to know in 2 years what's important, what type of interests are important? And in fact, if I can capture that somebody has skills in cognitive analytics or social media analytics, and they also have a passion or an interest in, let's say, fishing, why shouldn't I capture that? And maybe I can match them to a job that they're born to do, working at Cabela's or Outdoor World or someplace like that. So again, this is a time to really think very differently than we always have about credentials. We created badges that we felt would cover all of those different types of activities at the IBM company, except for those interest ones. We developed kind of a KSAT model on this. So we created a badge for knowledge, we created one for skills, we created a proficiency one. I think of that as knowledge is being able to read the book and know how to answer the questions. Skills is actually, can I pick up the camera and take some photographs with this? Can I monitor that stuff? And then the proficiency is, can I create an award-winning photograph? Can I create something that's market-worthy? We also decided to badge our professional certification to give them a layer on top of that for social media influence so they can share the badge everywhere. And then we also have a general badge, which is really a badge for some of our programs like our scholarship programs or apprenticeship programs and our high-level memberships programs as well. We believe that badges are how we will be able to measure real resume-worthy skills in the market. But resume-worthy for me is important for these badges, because if they're not resume-worthy, people are not going to share them on social media. They're not going to put them on LinkedIn. Nobody's going to put something on social media unless they feel like they have earned it and that it has real value. In fact, it actually informs the names of our courses. I mean, the name of a course typically sat inside a syllabus, and somebody would take that course and maybe it shows up a bit in a transcript. But now the course name actually shows up on LinkedIn. So we had to rethink the way we named our courses. For example, if our course Big Data Fundamentals, we found that if we changed the name to Big Data Foundations, the badge uptake went way up. Because people are much more willing to accept and share badges as they have foundational level knowledge on their resume, rather than saying that they're a newbie, that they're just a beginner. So nobody really wants to be about a newbie on the weekend. So anyway, that was another kind of an interesting side effect of badges as well. The social proof has to be built into badges, again, making it very, very easy for people to share them and creating leaderboards for people and Twitter feeds, making sure that people have it, and it's very, very easy, one click, or literally one click to get your badges into LinkedIn. All they have to do is enter their Twitter hash, the name, and it will automatically send them based on their preferences in our badge system. So it's really easy for them. Anybody who can know that leaderboards absolutely work, and in that world, it is at a level in the participation in our online activities. So that's another important thing. By the way, there's a company called Red Critter we came across. We haven't used it yet, but Red Critter is an example of one of these companies that's emerging, used for developing leaderboards. There's so many things that are off the shelf right now that we're finding that we don't have to build anything anymore. We just have to curate the best resources to build out a whole badge ecosystem. And I'll show you a couple other examples as well. So, demonstrating real market capabilities as well. Online challenges, we're starting with that. Inventions. When somebody creates a portfolio, we can badge things that are in those portfolios too. So we're very, very interested in badges not simply being a recognition of an exam, but rather something that's very, very meaningful. And this is really was very important to us. When we started thinking about our certification record, we thought about, well, how, it's edifying to take a certification, pass the exam, and be able to go to employers and have certified in that. But are you really creating a portfolio of evidence? Are you actually creating something that's meaningful for yourself or for the world? Are you actually creating something that has real market value? And so that's ultimately where we want to go with this. We don't really want to leave people with just having badges for exams or knowledge. Score, by the way, was a company we came across for doing contests. So we can now create contests on our online universities. And so we can actually get people, and now we're starting to bring in employers where people can compete for jobs. They can go up there and go up, issue a challenge, and they can compete for it right within our online experience. Portfolio is another company we're looking at. I don't know if you have as well, but there are other companies like this for creating portfolios for online portfolios. So just some other examples of some other relationships to badges that I think you have to take a look at, because badges will go beyond just the knowledge part of it. And you'll need a place to be able to showcase in a big way. Here's a big one for us, a very, very big one for us. And that's connecting users with real opportunities. In every single badge at IBM, we connect to real-time labor market data. So when you earn an IBM badge, you can look inside your badge and click on one of your skills tags or click on the Insights tab. And in real time, in the English-speaking world, throughout the United States, the UK, Singapore, India, also I think in some other Latin America and Brazil, but around the world, the English-speaking world, it will show you in real time all the jobs that are associated with the skills you've earned in that badge. It'll show you the top employers, it'll show you the job titles, it'll show you the current job openings, it'll show you the salaries, and if you double click on any of those bars, it'll take you all the way down to the job posting, the job listing, so you can actually apply for that job. And again, this is all in real time. It happens within 20 seconds. By the way, you can test this out yourself if you want to. And you look in the search box on the top of the screen, and you simply type in "view my verified achievement," it will start to flow a list of people who have earned digital badges through the Pearson Acclaim platform, including IBM badges, Microsoft badges, Cisco, Oracle. They're all going to start to flow in to your Twitter feed. If you type like that, do my verified achievement. Now, if you double click on one of those badges, it takes you back to that person's badge wallet to validate and verify the credential. And again, once you're in there, you can double click on these skill tags and you can see what I mean about these jobs, so you can actually see the jobs as well. So it's everything very, very transparent and very, very easy to navigate. So the last thing is, well, I have a couple things, but one of the last things was the idea of co-branding with market leaders to add value. And one of the things that we're doing now is we're starting to co-brand with universities, with institutions. We're looking at badging with companies like Apple and Microsoft and Project Management Institute. We have some programs going on with Northeastern University. We have programs going on with UCLA Extension, University of Texas. So we're always starting to look at how can we start to co-brand and how can we start to bring things together. One of the things we've done with our badge program connected with Big Data University is Northeastern University has looked at those badge programs, looked at the syllabi, looked at the exams we provide, looked at the requirements and the rigor that we have behind that exam and the pass rate and all this other thing. And said, let people take those online courses through Big Data University. We're going to give them prior learning credits into a degree program at Northeastern. So now we're starting to collaborate with universities to really merge what we need in the market with what Northeastern has. Northeastern is very happy because they know that we're going to be able to stay up on top of this ever-changing technology training world, probably better than anybody else can. Right now, by the way, we are releasing our products on a 60-day life cycle, maybe even fewer than that, maybe even 45 days. It used to be every 18 months. But we do code blocks with agile development right now, constantly. It's gotten to the point where the pace of change has outstripped the pace of learning in the technology world. And it's very difficult, well, for Northeastern, they thought it was difficult for them to try to stay up at the same pace that IBM has to stay up on. So they said, let's collaborate with you on these things. Let's bring in your data analytics and your data science courses, bring in this prior learning credits. Our students can take these courses during the summer, use them as prior learning credits, bring them in. Once they've earned an IBM badge, when they go look for a job, perhaps at IBM, they're going to see that badge. IBM's going to see that badge and have an affinity with IBM and give them a signal of employability. So there's lots of benefits for this collaboration and co-branding as well. So again, that's another thing to think about, how you might want to think about your strategy. The big elephant in the room that needs to be approached, I think, from a badge perspective is this. It is the standard skills taxonomy. This has not been, there's a long way to go here. We need to find a way to marry the skills tags from content to delivery to the credentials to job posting. It's simply not there. The Department of Labor has made a decent stab at it with the ONET database. There's a European Union skills taxonomy. IBM has its own skills taxonomy. But this is a challenge, and I think that this is an opportunity for research and for somebody to get some serious recognition if they can figure out how we're going to be able to create a standard skills taxonomy across all these disparate groups that have flexibility, that has the ability to translate what your JavaScript means to one company, what it means to another company, and be able to do that dynamically because these things are changing so often. So again, we're working on that internally at IBM to try and solve, at least in our micro level across the IBM company, these 4 different areas. But I think from a business perspective, this is something that is going to be required to make this whole program take off. So the big ways, again, just to kind of wrap here, monitoring the benefits, the progression, the rewarding engagement, the social proof. These are the 8 elements that we believe that if you do these, we have found that we have demonstrated tremendous success. Again, our program has taken off. It is now really changing the entire world of digital credentials for the IT space. The founder of IT certifications, his name was Clark Porter, in the 1970s, he worked with Novell to do it, is now the leader for Pearson's Acclaim, the badge program, and now we're working with them to really look at what the final mile is on all of this and how do we start to really link this to skills registries and to employment job searches, job talent matches, and things like that. So there's more to share with you guys maybe in about 6 months as we start to look at that last mile or that final mile on linking this to applicant tracking systems and all the other things that are going to need to happen for employers to really take notice. So I'll pause there. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
All right, guys. Questions for David? JR? Should be on.
Okay, so my question is, I know there's a lot of overhead associated with managing these types of badging systems. So on the other side of providing these types of credentials, I'd like to know how much overhead actually you have to have. For example, how many people are involved in managing this type of system at IBM?
I didn't get the beginning of the question, but I think I heard the end of it, so maybe hopefully I can answer. I think the question was, this a lot of heavy lifting to develop a badge program like this. So there are 3 different groups that are involved with badges, right? There's the badge issuer, the people who are developing the actual activities. There's the badge earner, the person who's actually going to receive it, and then there's the badge consumer, typically an employer or a line of business manager that's going to be actually seeing or reading the badge or doing something with them. From a badge issuer perspective, we found it was relatively light lifting with this. Most people have already developed their own activity, so it's simply a matter of having them document on their activity, the name of the activity, the skills that are associated with it, a description of it. So you have to create a metadata template out. Basically all the information that goes into that badge. We take that information in from these badge issuers at IBM. We have a team of just a handful of people. We're talking like, for the entire IBM company, half a dozen people. And literally about 2 or 3 people are really working on this full time. And they'll take that metadata, they'll marry that up with a badge emblem that we create, and it's pretty simple. We can create that in Adobe Illustrator or, a graphics program. We then take those 2 pieces and we push them into the badge platform. In this case, we outsourced the badge platform to Pearson, to Acclaim. We found they had everything we needed. We did a build versus buy. Should we build our own? Should we buy one? And we did a lot of testing of platforms. We love what Acclaim has done with their platform. So we upload that up into the Acclaim platform, and then the badge is sitting there waiting to use. All the badge issuer has to do is when an activity is completed, they have to get a roster of those people who have earned that badge. The email address, literally, it's just the email address and the badge template ID that's associated with that, and they need to just literally upload that into Acclaim. At that point, Acclaim will start, it does everything else. Acclaim will send out letters, it will send out notification letters, it clears all the privacy issues, all the legal requirements, it automatically generates a badge backpack or badge wallet for that person. So and then on the back end, it does all the analytics for us, it allows us to run report, it allows us to manage the activities through Acclaim. So bottom line is, it's not heavy lifting for a badge issuer. Even from our badge administration, we do have governance around this. So we make sure that we provide governance on what badge to use and to make sure that it fits the standards, that the description is clear, and that it actually matches what the badge template should be and those kinds of things. So we do have governance on it. But it's not a lot of heavy